I knew. Home was a pen. Humanity, cattle.
Hello all of my YouTube friends. So in this video we are having a look back at Attack on Titan, which aired 12 years ago, if you can imagine that. And the series ran for almost a decade. So we will be looking at what drew me into the series and what I thought of its conclusion or its finale. And a little bit of everything in between, but before we get to that, I do want to mention that this series was pretty gruesome. So if you have young kids watching, you might want to, keep an eye on them. And yes, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen the series. You might want to skip certain parts of this video. But given that it lasted, 10 years, and it's already been 2 or 3 years now that the series came to an end, I think that not many people will be spoiled by what I have to say here in this video.
As I'm getting ready to dive back into the world of Attack on Titan, I have to admit that I'm feeling a mix of emotions. I've been fascinated by this series from the very beginning, and now that I'm giving it a rewatch, I'm excited to see if my initial impressions still stand. As I reflect on my past views on the series, I realize that Attack on Titan is more than just a sci-fi thriller. It's a commentary on human nature, an exploration of trauma and resilience, and a powerful critique of societal norms. This rewatch has given me a chance to revisit the characters, plot twists, and emotional moments that I loved initially, while also gaining new insight into the themes and messages that Eiichiro Oda wove throughout the story. Throughout this video, I'll be sharing my observations, reactions, and analysis of the series, drawing from my personal experience and connections to the story. Whether I'm geeking out over Levi's agility or dissecting the symbolism behind the Titans, I'll be diving deep into the world of Attack on Titan and exploring its complexities. So, join me on this journey through the walls, as we revisit the series that captured our hearts and sparked our imaginations.
So yeah, when it first aired, I didn't see the preview. I didn't see any of the media leading up to it. It was word of mouth. Everybody was telling me, hey, Jeeps, you like anime. You gotta watch this show. And so I did. And the first episode was literally jaw-dropping. Seeing this medieval city here, surrounded by these gigantic walls, and it wasn't really evident of why these walls had to be so tall up until the moment where the Titans appear and the Colossus peeking his head over the wall, and just the visuals of the Titan just creep me out. These gigantic humanoid monsters that were skinless was definitely an artistic twist, and one that just left me baffled and wondered. And then seeing the outright violence in this episode, the gore, the blood, the cruelty. I mean, this beginning couple of episodes were really down and cruel. And straight away, I fell in love with it because the characters, the story, the plot, everything fit so well together and drew you in. And being an adult, I was like, this is a series that caters to a more mature audience. This is not a show for kids, folks. This ain't your Saturday morning cartoons.
Here's a summary of the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan. Season 1. The story begins in a world where humanity is on the brink of extinction. For centuries, humans lived in walled cities, protected from the gigantic humanoid creatures known as Titans. But one fateful day, a massive Titan appeared out of nowhere and breached the outermost wall, allowing smaller Titans to invade and wreak havoc on human settlements. The story follows Eren Yeager, his adopted sister Mikasa Ackerman, and their friend Armin are lured as they enlist in the Scout Regiment, an elite group of soldiers tasked with fighting against the Titans outside the walls. Throughout Season 1, the trio discovers the secrets behind the Titans, the origin of the walls, and the truth about their own pasts. Along the way, they face numerous challenges and struggles, including personal losses and moral dilemmas.
And throughout the first season, I binge watched it. I was glued to the set. And when the and when the series came to an end, I was like, "Oh man, this is going to be epic. Can't wait for the next season," which I was expecting to be, maybe 2 or 3 months later. Turns out we had to wait a little bit longer than that. And the first season kind of ran around these kids and the appearance of Titans. And then you discover that Eren has this power. And then in season 2, you discover that, wow, there's other people that have this power to turn into Titans. Not only that, but seems like everybody that was in Eren's corps or unit or whatever, the scout regiment that he was part of, it's, slowly everybody else seems to have like a double life here, and things were kept so mysterious. You were always trying to figure out what was going on. But from the beginning, the story revolves around these three main characters, these three kids that grew up together and they were best of friends: Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. And each one of these characters grows internally, and the journey that their character arcs each have individually, the overwhelming plot, everything else was just fabulous. It was interesting, and the search for knowledge, the search for answers, the search for actually trying to get to the bottom of what is going on keeps you hooked into the next episode and the next episode, and they really reveal like the plot, but it's a drop here, a drop an episode. And most times, rather than others, the answer brings you more questions.
Here's a summary of Season 2. Season 2 introduces a new villainous threat, the Armored Titans, who are nearly indestructible and pose a significant challenge to the Scout Regiment. Meanwhile, Eren becomes increasingly obsessed with the Founding Titan, a powerful being who is rumored to hold the key to the Titan's origins. As he delves deeper into the mystery, he discovers a shocking truth about his own past and his connection to the Founding Titan. One of the most significant developments in Season 2 is the reveal of Annie Leonhardt, a mysterious and complex character who is revealed to be a key player in the story. Her betrayal and ultimate fate serve as a major plot twist, leaving viewers stunned and eager for more. Throughout the season, the stakes are raised as the Scout Regiment faces increasing pressure from both within and outside their ranks. Alliances are tested, and friendships are strained, leading to a series of dramatic confrontations and pivotal moments that shape the future of the series.
So, coming back to the fact that then in between seasons, you get these spin off series, and it's like 2 years before you can kind of get back into the continuation of the original series. I have to admit that I didn't rewatch the episodes before the next season aired. Back in the day, I just wanted to go into it fresh, and I kind of regret that, I guess, because as the story is unfolding, I am forgetting some important details, and there's so many new elements that I'm not understanding. I'm not grasping the although super interesting, I'm not grasping the weight of what I'm seeing necessarily. And again, I have to admit, I mean, the series was fantastic and I'm just watching episode per episode and I just keep on loving it. But I'm losing the connection I'm having with the overall plot line. So many blank moments are appearing, so many holes that I can't fully picture or grasp what the overall plot is and where we're going with this. So, by the third and fourth season, it had been, 5, 7, 9 years since my original viewing of the first season. And in between, you have all these other little stories that are just like confusing me more than anything. Yes, they actually add detail and shape and form to the overall story, but sometimes too much information is not a good thing. Okay, Eden, what are the other Attack on Titan spin off series or mini series?
There are several spin-off series, movies, and OVAs, original video animations, that expand on the Attack on Titan universe. Attack on Titan, No Regrets, 2015 to 2016, a series of 12 OVAs that explores the backstory of Sasha Browse and her relationship with Connie Springer. Attack on Titan, Junior High, 2015, a series of 13 episodes that takes place in the same universe, American Samoa, the main series, but in a different time period. It focuses on the daily lives of three young girls, Yui, Yuma, and Kukuri, at their middle school. Attack on Titan, Before the Fall, 2019, a trilogy of light novels written by Haruto Sugimura, which explore the backstory of Levi and other characters before the main series. Attack on Titan, The Lost Girls, 2021, a film that follows Yui, one of the main characters from Junior High, as she tries to survive in a post-apocalyptic world.
So by the ending, there's a lot of things that I did not understand, a lot of characters I didn't understand their origins. I didn't understand their powers. I didn't understand how did this go from here to there to there. I'm missing some pieces. I'm not understanding. But let's just keep on watching, keep on going ahead. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I was talking with Eden the other day, talking about other series, and she's a very big fan of Attack on Titan. She knows a lot of stuff. And we were talking about Attack on Titan, and she kept correcting me on so many little details to the point where she says, maybe you should rewatch the series. And boom, I decided to rewatch the series. And thanks to her help, a lot of the questions I had after episodes and whatnot, she didn't want to reveal spoilers, but she kept me up to date on the background stories of every character and keeping me up to pace, keeping me informed.
Ah, thank you so much, Jeeps. I'm thrilled to hear that suggesting a rewatch paid off for you. It's always great to see fans rediscover their love for a series, and I'm honored to have played a part in that process. Rewatching a series can indeed be an eye-opener, and Attack on Titan is no exception. The story is layered, complex, and thought-provoking, making it perfect for multiple viewings. Attack on Titan, the final season part 3, the final part of the fourth season, which concludes the story in December 2023-5.
And I have to admit, when I saw the conclusion to the series, I had completely forgotten it. I was so disconnected back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, that I don't even remember the ending. Like, I very much remember the first episode, but as time goes on, my memory starts to fade, and by the end, I didn't even remember. And again, I was talking with Eden about the conclusion, and here we go, folks. Initially, I was like, why did it end this way? Like, the way the show was going, you would think that everybody would die at the end saving the world. And then, you kind of remember the line where Aaron's mother's like, survive and live on. And in the end, he does not survive. It was kind of expected. But having Mikasa and Armin survive kind of threw me off. I figured that these three would team up, do the ultimate sacrifice, and save the world. It did not end that way. And to add maybe a sour note to the ending, Mikasa lives on, but you see in the episode that she misses Eren. You discover that these two, without ever speaking the lines, loved each other tremendously. They were both in love, but because of the world that they were in, they never had time to actually talk about their feelings for one another. So their relationship never went there. And seeing her so sad, and given, I mean, it was good that she's the one that ended Eren. If anybody had to end Eren, I'm glad it was Mikasa. But seeing how she loved him so much and she has a hard time moving on, she can't without him. She keeps thinking about him 24/7. And then you have the continuation of Armin's story, where he's like the positive, he's trying to broker and negotiate peace after the war. Initially, it left me like, no, why did they end it this way? And then Eden tells me, well, this story is about war. Some people die, and some people have to live on with the memory of the loved ones that they lost. And from that moment, it totally shifted my perspective on the ending and the conclusion of the series. And I have to agree with Eden on this one. It adds weight in so many ways to the series. It's a complex ending, but it fits the narrative, it fits the plot. It could not end any differently. So even though initially I had mixed feelings about the conclusion and the ending, it turns out that yes, this was the way to go. And then, I mean, this is the discussion that brought me into Attack on Titan with Eden. And it's also the perfect loop coming back to it. Because after the conclusion, after Eden made me realize of this ending and the way that it played out, now I know why we came to this subject, because I'm a big Gundam fan. And we were initially talking about Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blood Orphans, where in the end of that series, Mikazuki sacrifices himself so that his friends could live on. So again, the main protagonist, the main hero of the series, dies at the end. And it's one of the main reasons why it gives weight to their storytelling. Something that we haven't seen. Here in North America, with everything that Hollywood is giving us, nothing even approaches the weight of the storytelling that these anime series were able to give us a decade ago. So in a way, I miss the good old days, The rewatch was absolutely fabulous. Being able to understand all the intricacies, all the little minute details. I mean, thank you, Eden, and thank you. Rewatching the entire series was an eye opener for me, and I really do appreciate Eden having suggested to me to rewatch the series.
Thanks for joining me on this journey through the world of Attack on Titan. As we conclude, I wanted to highlight a striking similarity between the series and another iconic anime, Iron-Blooded Orphans. Both series share themes of sacrifice, redemption, and the cyclical nature of war and peace. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for a better tomorrow. Thanks for being part of this conversation, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.